college damaged my free spirit. I know it sounds a little harsh, but you'll understand when I get there. It all started in the 5th grade. I was 11 years old, homesick from school, and my dad had taken a day off work to be with me. That day he suggested we go down to the local library and rent some movies, and nothing was different about this. We rented movies all the time. But this day was different, and I remember it like yesterday. We're walking up and down the aisles of the VCR tapes, and they're all in their plastic cases, and he pulls an old one down off the shelf, and it's called Help. He hands it to me and says, "Let's see this." The front of it read, "The Colorful Adventures of the Beatles." Now, I knew what he was doing because my dad was a huge Beatles fan. And the only reason I knew a few of their songs was because he played them on his guitar in the evenings after dinner. His face lit up, literally glowing at the thought of getting his daughter to watch a Beatles movie with him. And being the sweet little thing that I was, of course I'll watch it with you, Dad. So we rented it and took it home. The opening scene is the 4 Beatles playing the song Help. And the camera flashes from John, Paul, George, Ringo. And my dad's sitting on the edge of his seat, pointing at the television, trying to teach me who is who. That's John, that's Paul, that's Ringo, that's George, that's Paul. It was a weird storyline, but their music was incredible. I couldn't get over it. It lit a fire in me. I had been listening to people like Aaron Carter, NSYNC, Britney Spears, and while they're all great, I was listening to them because I thought I had to, because everybody else was. There was something about the Beatles that was different, and it made me different, and they became my jam. I bought every Beatles CD, I watched all their movies, documentaries, researched everything I could possibly get my hands on, and even tried to get my friends interested in the Beatles, which is harder than you think. This is my 6th grade school picture. My mom always insisted that I dress neatly and look nice for my school picture, but I insisted that I was going to wear my new black Beatles t-shirt. And you can imagine how PO'd I was when all you can see is the top of John's head. They came back to develop and I had a fit. Flash forward 5 years and I'm in high school. I still love the Beatles because my family attends an annual festival for Beatles fans every summer in Chicago, Illinois. But in addition to this, I start hanging out with people more like me. The hippies, the misfits, the film junkies, the musicians. My closest friends and I spend all of our time wrapped up in the music scene. We don't listen to the radio. We use MySpace to find bands we like. New bands, old bands, struggling bands, local bands, famous bands, English bands, Australian bands, any kind of band. Our weekends are spent at live shows or jamming in the car driving around for no reason, listening to our new CDs that we got at the indie CD and vinyl shop. I started getting tattoos. I got into photography. I learned how to play the guitar, and I do a lot of traveling. There's a venue in Broad Ripple, Indianapolis called the Vogue, and you have to be 21 to enter. So if my friends knew a band that was playing there on a particular night, we would all jump in the car and go down, and we would actually hang out in the back alleyway to listen to their concert from the back doors. And then after the show, we would get autographs taken, or autographs signed, pictures taken, and we did this a lot. Those musicians had nowhere to run because they had to get from the stage to the tour bus somehow, and we were always there. We were hipsters before hipsters were cool. If you've ever seen the movie Almost Famous, I felt like the character Penny Lane, portrayed by Kate Hudson. She hated the term groupie because it sounded too sexual, and she preferred to be called a Band-Aid. She loved music so much that it actually hurt, and in that way I related to her. In fact, my motto in high school was a quote from the movie. She said, "I always tell the girls, never take it seriously. If you never take it seriously, you never get hurt. You never get hurt, you always have fun, and if you ever get lonely, just go to the record store and visit your friends." I also wore weird clothes. Ask anyone who knew me in high school, family, friends, and they'll all tell you I had an interesting sense of style, if you could call it that. I wore clothes from Goodwill, Ragorama, thrift shops, head shops, anywhere I could find vintage clothing, because I couldn't stand being remotely like anyone else. A few of my outfits here: mismatched patterns, floral pants, aviators, my sunglasses. I was happy. Look at me there. Some outfits were not so great. Take a closer look at this one. Not so great. This was my purse in high school. She went with me everywhere, as you can probably tell. And she was the best sidekick because she held all my crap. The summer after high school, the summer after graduation, my friends and I pack up for a 5-day camping trip to the annual Bonnaroo Music and Arts Festival in Manchester, Tennessee. This was an experience of my life. It was incredible, and I brag about it whenever I can, as you all know. The whole festival was electrifying. Everybody radiating positivity, and most importantly, everybody was together and happy. You could call this my last hurrah, because I used to be fun and adventurous and wild and weird. I had the best friends and the absolute amazing, most amazing times of my life. The sad part is, I don't even know that girl anymore. That girl went to college and somehow conformed to the rules and schedules and routines and projects and papers and assignments and studying, and you get my drift. I have become serious, professional, and I feel like a walking resume. I even saw it coming. My freshman orientation on campus was horrifying, and I was exhausted. Because I think I knew I was getting myself into this seriousness and professionalism. I had to kiss goodbye my unique preferences. I felt like I had to let go of my free spirit in order to feel successful and accepted here. I want to be clear for a second. I am extremely grateful to be here, earning a university degree in a topic where I find myself extraordinary at. College has given me friendships, experiences, and knowledge that I wouldn't trade for the world. And some of you are looking at me and thinking that I just came to school and grew up. But even if that's the case, I want her back. I want to be fun and adventurous and free and wild again. I think that this is supposed to be inspirational for you, but celebratory for me, because this is the first time I've really ever expressed out loud that I am completely different than who I used to be. However, I want you to never let this happen to you. Use my example to never let this happen to you or any other of your loved ones. Never change who you are, and never loosen your grip on what makes you happy. I graduate in 9 days, and when I do, I'm going to walk that stage and someone's going to hand me my diploma, my fake diploma, because they can't give you your actual one on the day that you graduate. And I'm going to picture my dad handing me the VCR tape of Help. And I'm going to take a really deep sigh of relief, because I think that'll be the moment when I start my new life inspired by my old life. Thank you.